We are accelerating toward a world where anything you want can be generated in an afternoon. From radical life extension to entire virtual realities, spun up on demand, the bottleneck of human experience is rapidly disappearing. Yet, look closely at our current trajectory. Even as we approach this horizon of infinite digital abundance, psychological exhaustion and existential dread are climbing. We are securing everything we ever wanted, only to find it doesn't satisfy the self. The problem is hardware. Deep inside your brain sits the amygdala. For hundreds of thousands of years, this structure evolved to operate as a hyper-vigilant alarm system. It kept our ancestors alive by screaming to hoard resources. Now, plug that scarcity-adapted alarm directly into the modern internet. It is flooded with infinite novelty and rewards. The biology is completely overwhelmed. The results are everywhere around us. We see rampant dopamine exhaustion. We obsessively hoard digital artifacts, followers, and information we never consume. The nervous system is locked in a state of paralyzing, continuous anxiety because it literally does not know how to handle having enough. Surviving a technological utopia requires a biological intervention. Our nervous systems must stop screaming before we can truly inhabit the abundance we've built. Imagine a field report from the year 2072. Humanity has reached a point where you can rewrite your body or taste the birth of a star in a simulation. But the citizens aren't drunk on their own power. They are unnervingly calm because they have changed their relationship to desire itself. They reached this state by integrating the ancient concept of detachment found in the Upanishads. This is the graceful recognition that the world was never separate from the observer. Like a lotus leaf resting upon the water, they are perfectly engaged but entirely unattached. In 2072, this philosophy is integrated into their physiology. The old fight-or-flight architecture has been gently rewoven. The amygdala no longer operates as a panicked alarm. Instead, it functions like a wise librarian, calmly sorting incoming data. The prefrontal cortex has also expanded into what they call the dragon's balcony. It acts as an internal observation deck. This vantage point allows individuals to watch massive surges of stimuli and information play out without automatically falling into them. They even have a chemical failsafe for whenever a grasping impulse does arise. A subtle bioluminescent pulse, a neti-neti flare, travels down the vagus nerve. The endocrine system then releases a microdose of anandamide, instantly dissolving the urge to own. In a world of infinite abundance, spiritual enlightenment has become an integrated, automated, biological operating system. When you watch this upgraded biology operate in the wild, the most striking differences appear in how people consume extreme entertainment. Consider a woman running a fully immersive neural simulation. She is living an entire lifetime as a 23rd century cetacean poet, experiencing the oceanic grief of watching the last wild orca slowly die out. She feels every ounce of that sorrow. Then the simulation ends. She exhales once. Because her nervous system does not clutch at the experience, the grief passes through her like wind through bamboo. There is zero residue. She loved the simulation enough to feel it and enough to let it go. This lack of attachment applies to creation. A composer might spend months crafting a masterpiece symphony that exists for only 9 minutes of performance. Once the final note rings out, the score is ceremonially deleted. They become the masterpiece, then release it. True post-scarcity behavior requires a delicate balance. It's the capacity to feel deeply, to create masterfully, and play intensely, while completely relinquishing the primitive biological urge to hoard the resulting artifacts. This internal rewiring extends far beyond virtual reality. It directly alters how people interact and work with one another. Relationships operate under a principle called conscious completion. People still fall in love with ferocious intensity, but the moment a bond no longer serves the awakening of both beings, it is released with gratitude and zero drama. Labor transforms in the same way. Ego-driven careerism is replaced by temporary devotion. An engineer might spend 3 months entirely immersed in designing a new stellar sail, then delete her own contribution so others may finish it. She works with the same serene joy a Zen monk brings to raking a sand garden. When the biology itself becomes allergic to unnecessary suffering, the old karmic knots of resentment and entitlement fail to take root. Without those individual anchors, the collective momentum naturally shifts from conflict toward presence. The ultimate test of this biological operating system is the choice of how to handle functional immortality. Imagine a man who has lived 312 years. He has experienced centuries of digital and physical abundance. Finally, he decides his existence is complete. He gathers his friends in a garden, turns off every augmentation, and utters his final words. "Thank you for the loan." His body goes offline like a beautiful old ship being scuttled with full honors. He simply stops, without a trace of fear. Even immortality has become just another experience to release. We do not need to wait until the year 2072 to begin applying this internal shift. The overwhelming flood of our modern internet is already demanding that we adapt today. Technological abundance offers a unique kind of safety, the security required to finally open the hand